Welcome back to the channel, guys. It is me, 8744 Extra, and today, guys, we're doing our Superman movie review, guys. 2025 edition. Spoiler, of course. So, if you have not seen the movie, please do not watch the video. I will be spoiling this movie in detail. So, today we're going to be discussing about how I feel about this movie. Is this movie good, bad, or in the middle? I'm not going to answer right away, so you're going to have to stay tuned for the video so it gives you guys a reason to watch. And yeah, as I said, guys, so we're gonna sit back and enjoy, and yeah, let's discuss about this. So let's start the main character, Superman himself. For me, I felt like the Superman was great. I really did enjoy the Superman. I feel like this Superman showed a lot more emotions and a lot more care than Henry Cavill did in the Superman Batman versus Superman Dawn of Justice, and of course Man of Steel. And I felt like this guy did a fantastic job. I believe his name is Jack. I think that's his first name. I thought he did a fantastic job. Fantastic job here, showing the emotions, showing how Superman could react. And there's going to be some times throughout the movie where he things don't go his way and he reacts in that way, and it's completely human to react that way. You know, I also felt like he did a great job portraying Clark Kent as well. Because it's not just about portraying the superhero; you also have to portray the guy behind the superhero, his the actual person itself. And I felt like he did a great job in both aspects, and I really did feel like the Superman went through a lot of crap in this movie, and we're gonna discuss later on the specific crap he went through. But I'll just save it from there. But I think for me, the Superman, for me, perfect Superman, probably the best version of Superman since Christopher Reeve. I would say I don't think he's as good as Christopher Reeve because Christopher Reeve is so much nostalgia and is obviously such a good the first movie. But in terms of like the best live action, though, this is easily, in my opinion, the best modern adaptation, in my opinion, without doubt. So shout out to him, man. I thought he did a fantastic job throughout the movie. He was saving people, and bro, he even saved a squirrel in this movie. Like he did, he was carrying insane weight on his shoulder just to save innocent people. Like that is insanity. I don't think most superheroes can do that, and I don't think they have the balls to do that, and I don't think they have the heart like he does. So for me, easily the best Superman since Christopher Reeve, in my opinion. Lex Luthor, man. Wow. This guy really hates Superman so much. He really despises Superman. And as much as I praised Superman at the beginning of this review, Lex Luthor might be the best character in this movie. Like the way he's hating Superman is so insane. He comes up with this incredible plan just to stop him at any tracks. The amount of hatred and like obsession he has with Superman is absolutely absurd. I mean, he literally breaks into his own place and makes his parents say this kind of stuff. And we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. Trust me, we're gonna get to that. I don't want to say it specifically here. And then obviously creates the rift. Then it obviously has another big reveal. We're gonna get into that in a bit. And so, bro, this guy hates Superman so much. And I don't know if there's any other villain that hates a hero that much. And bro, Lex Luthor, man, this guy was evil, evil 100%. And this guy, man, he was just so evil. And for me, this is easily clear of the one we saw in Batman versus Superman Dawn of Justice. Easily clear of that Lex Luthor. This Lex Luthor is really good. I love this character. And for me, I'm gonna say this right now. This is probably my favorite character in the movie. I love Superman. Don't get me wrong. Superman was really good. But for me, I feel like the best character in this movie was him himself. I feel like he really stole the show in this movie. And had he not been in this movie, I don't think the movie would have been as good. I feel like he was a strong reason why this movie is what it is. And bro, this guy was incredible. For me, best character in this movie, hands down. Now we talk about Lois Lane. I felt like she was good. I don't think she was as good as Superman or as Lex Luthor, but I felt like she was decent. She had her role. She was obviously there to mentor Superman to get through this hard times and everything. And you could tell that she wasn't really like kind of at the beginning, kind of like questioning Superman. Obviously she had the interview with Superman, and she realized that Superman was doing his own thing and didn't really had his own perception, and she didn't agree with that. And obviously they had a hostile thing, and then eventually they worked things out, and they eventually loved each other. And I feel like she was good, but I don't really feel like she was that incredible. I feel like she was decent, but I don't think she was as good as Sorry, why do I keep thinking Batman, Superman, and Lex Luthor? But yeah, I felt like she was good in this part. But yeah, I don't really have any strong words to say. I don't think she was incredible or bad. She was just good. She was just good. But I don't think she was incredible to say the least. Um, but she was a good journalist. I'll give you that. And now we got these characters, man. So I believe that's Green. I believe that's Hawkgirl and Mister Terrific, and I believe that's Green Lantern. I think it is. I might be wrong with the last one, but I'll be sure when I do my editing. But anyways, I felt like these characters were pretty good. They were great in this movie, and I felt like they really served their purpose. And it was kind of nice to see them have their own kind of ways to help. You know, obviously, um, Green. Obviously, he was suspicious of wanting to help Superman because obviously we have that obviously big turn discussion point which we're going to get onto later. But obviously, I felt like he was the least interesting of the three in my opinion. I feel like Hawker was probably the best, and it was really cool. I wish she had more of a bigger role in this one because I feel like she didn't really have much role until she killed that obviously that president, Bavarian president. That was pretty cool, I have to say. But other than that, she didn't really have any standout moments in the movie, which I was kind of disappointed with. She didn't really have any memorable moments. And Mr. Terrific, I thought was great. I thought Mr. Terrific was great. He obviously helped Lois Lane get to the portal and everything. We're gonna get discuss that later. And I felt like he was great. He did try the best of the three, but I feel like they could have been a bit more in this movie. But at the end of the day, it is a Superman movie. They're not really supposed to be the main characters of the movie, so it's fine. They're not supposed to be the main. They're supposed to be kind of just there in the side. So I feel like they've served the purpose, but I was kind of hoping they had more of a role. But they were there in the final altercation, and they were there in the middle of the alter. They were there in the middle of I believe the middle of the movie when they had that big battle and everything. So yeah, I feel like he was decent. I feel like these three were good. Now we talk about the twist. This is the first twist of the movie. So obviously, in the middle of the movie, Superman saved everyone, and we're getting praise. You know, he was getting praise and everything. People were like, "Oh, Superman was like, yeah, let's go. I finally did it." But then he realized that when he looks up the screen, that he got the message of his parents, his biological parents, by the way, and his parents told him to destroy Earth, which was a very big revelation. And obviously, everyone was so mad. Everyone was turning against Superman, and that's where you see that scene in the trailer where everyone is mad at Superman, and that's where it's really hits hard Superman because he's emotionally devastated. Like, bro, I literally did everything I could to save these people, and guess who did this? It's Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor is the one that made this message and everything like that. And eventually, we found out later in the movie that it is true. Like, like he initially thought Lex Luthor did it, but it actually turns out his parents did say that. But as later his parents in the real on the Earth obviously told him that just forget about that and just focus on what you can do. Because at the end of the day, what decisions you make is what's more important than what your parents said. You know, and eventually he was able to win back everyone and and everything like that. And it was a very big revelation in the movie, and it kind of reminded me amazing. Sorry, Spider Man. Remember, I think it was Spider Man 2, where we got the revelation that Spider Man's real name is Peter Parker, and that everyone realized that this guy isn't as who you seems it is. And I feel like that was such a big revelation, and it kind of reminded me of this in the way that DC kind of took the idea what they did with MCU with Spider Man, and they kind of did their own thing here with I believe it's Mysterio. Mysterio is the one I actually believe that did that, and it was really interesting how it was very similar and how both characters reacted because bro, like put it this way: imagine you were in the Superman's position and you just saved everyone, and then you realizing that because of that, what your parents said is you getting crapped on. You're getting crapped on like that seems so messed up, and it's not even his fault. And what the crazy thing is, he didn't even hear the full message in the beginning of the movie. He only heard half of it. The first half was where he heard, and the second half he heard it at the same time everyone else did. That seems crazy to me, and I feel like that was so genius what the writers did, was to put it specifically there right after he saved the people, because it makes it emotionally difficult for him, and I feel like that was such a really good twist, and I really did enjoy, and I think that was the first twist of the movie, and that's what makes this movie so interesting. And that, yeah. So shout out to that. I thought it was a really good twist. And the second twist was the Pocket Universe. Lex Luthor created this whole Pocket Universe for his own all crazy, crazy schemes. And we see in the Pocket Universe all the people he's jailed throughout the life. Even his ex girlfriend is there. And it was really interesting is that his current girlfriend is actually the reason why Louis Lane was able to figure out and how they're able to trace down Superman, and eventually save and help them. And it was also interesting as Superman. There was another character, I forgot his name. He had that little small baby. That character also helped him escape. And so I just felt like for me it was so interesting that Lex Luthor basically indirectly saved Superman, not directly obviously, but indirectly. And I felt like that was such a cool way that Lex Luthor didn't even realize himself. He probably thinks about it at the end, like, wait a minute, I basically indirectly saved Superman, you know, and like Superman basically turned himself in just to save the dog. And I felt like that was such a really good writing point there from the writers, and I felt like that was such a genius way to write it out. So yeah, I felt like it was really cool. And then the final twist, guys, Ultraman. Basically, Ultraman is Superman's clone, which I thought was genius. And I was like, bro, this is such a genius twist. Now, you can admit, of the three twists, this is probably the most predictable one. This one that wasn't as shocking as the other two, in my opinion. But still, to make this twist was genius. And Lex Luthor is just that smart guy that, bro, he is such a maniac that he wants Superman killed that he's going to create a clone of him. And, there's a saying in life, if you can't beat him, you join them. So, right, so basically, Lex Luthor's like, you know what? I probably can't beat Superman on my own. So the only way I can beat Superman is if I create another Superman, just to beat him, right? And I just thought it was such a genius way to do it, and it was very cool, very difficult. And you saw Superman was bleeding, bro. Like the guy was nearly getting beat to death, but obviously his dog saved him. Krypton saved him, and that's the way it goes. And I feel like that was such a genius way how the Ultraman was killed at the end by going through the black hole, of course. Now we get to my overall thoughts of this movie. So overall, I felt like this movie was a great movie. I felt like this was a really good movie. And for me, I'm gonna say this right here. I'm gonna go on record and say this. This is the best Superman movie of all time. And let me explain why, right? I look at the animated ones. Of course, animated ones are good, but it's not modern enough for me. That's why I can't put it number one. But it is good, especially the first two. The third and fourth are obviously bad. It goes without saying. And then obviously Man of Steel is decent, but I don't think it's as good. I feel like it's more of a kind of like an okay-ish movie. It was decent, but it wasn't that great. And then for me, Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice. The less said, the better. That movie was an abomination, a disgrace to Superman. Like the fact that he died in that movie was crazy, and the fact he was fighting against Batman was insanity. I don't want to speak more on that movie, and I feel like this movie just did a great job. I feel like this movie did a great job in the sense that I feel like this was the perfect Superman movie. It was modernized. We had a Superman that actually cared, had emotions, that actually was strong, powerful. And sure, he may not have been as powerful as the other Supermans in the movies we've seen in the past, but that's what makes him relatable. Because at the end of the day, Superman is human at the end of the day. He shouldn't be able to win all those battles. And we saw at the beginning of the movie, he was getting beat on. He got badly beaten up. And I think that was really nice to show that Superman is just a human at the end of the day, and just with everything like that. So I feel like the writers did a good job. The villain I thought was great. I thought Lex Luthor was amazing, and then I forgot there was this girl. I forgot her name. She was also really good as well. She was really powerful as well. Everything I forgot her name. I'll be sure when I do my editing. And then obviously the side characters were pretty good as well. Overall, I thought this was a great movie. I really don't have much complaints about this movie. I feel like maybe they could have done the side characters a bit better. Like I think Lois Lane and the Justice characters, I feel like they could have had maybe more importance. But at the end of the day, that's just more nitpickiness. And that's just me being a little, nitpicky. It's not really too big of a concern. And I feel like overall, this movie was well structured and was also really interesting. At the end is that we got his cousin, obviously, Supergirl, I believe it is, coming to the end, and so maybe we're having a little teaser for the Supergirl movie, which that will be interesting to see. I'll be interested to see what happens. So I think DC did a really good job with this movie. DC has been kind of crapped on the last couple of years for making horrible movies, but I feel like this movie, DC, has kind of saved its reputation. I feel like DC has finally made a good movie that Marvel can finally compete with. And I feel like this was a good movie, best Superman movie in my opinion, and everything like that. So, like I said, guys, I hope you guys did enjoy this review. I'm sure there's some other talking points I could go through in this one, but I think I felt like I took the most important thoughts and I wanted to share them with you guys and my thoughts on this movie in particular. And I'm sure there's some things I didn't mention. I'm sure I could have mentioned as well. That's the beauty of the comments, guys, because obviously when you're making reviews, you're gonna naturally miss things. And I hope you guys did enjoy this review, guys. I thought this was a great movie to watch. I definitely recommend to watch in theaters. And yeah, I overall did enjoy. So if I had to give a rating out of 10, I'll probably give this a 9 out of 10. I thought like this was a great movie. I can't give it a 10 because, like I said, I have some, little nitpickiness. But overall, I thought like this was a great movie. And I feel like it was really cool, the twist and everything. And I feel like this was a great movie. I really don't have much complaints about this movie. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below, guys. Remember, guys, to like and subscribe as well. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And I hope you guys did enjoy this movie.